In this video, we are going to learn how to output something from our program to the console window. Here I have created a project in Visual Studio, and now what I want to do is add a CPP file. To do that, I'm going to go to the source files, right-click, select Add, and choose New Item. What I want is a CPP file, and I'm going to give it a name using Cout. And then I'm going to add it. Here I have my blank.cpp file, and I can start adding my code. To output something to the screen, we're going to use a command called cout. That command is defined and coded inside a file that is available for us to use. To use that file, we want to use the command #include, and #include is followed by less than sign. The file that we need is iostream. All right, now if we want to use this, the commands that are available in iostream directly, we need to use using namespace std. And then we need our main function, so int main, open closing paren, then our opening and curly closing braces, and everything we put inside those opening and curly braces will be part of our main function. I'm going to add the return 0 at the bottom to indicate everything went just fine. All right, now I've got a basic program up and going, and I run that, and there I go. I get the press any key to continue that the development environment adds. And what I want to do is be able to print something to that console window. So the command to print something is cout, stands for console out. Whenever you use cout, then what you follow up by is the insertion operator, which is two less than signs side by side, no break between them. And I'm going to add a string, welcome to my world, ! Notice that a string begins with a double quote and ends with a double quote, and in this editor it turns red. So what I want to do is I want to print everything that is inside those quotes. Now that I'm done with my statement, I'm going to put a semicolon, because each statement in C++ ends with a semicolon. All right, so let's see how this works when I print that. I run the program by clicking Control F5, and it says, "Welcome to my world. Press any key to continue." Now I want to move this output by the IDE down one line, so it's not part of my output. I want to be able to distinguish between the output of the program and this added line that the IDE is adding. So I want to put a carriage return in here. The way we do a carriage return, I'm going to do another cout statement that I want to do a console output, and I'm going to type a command called ENDL. Stands for end line. And what that does, notice that this is not inside quotes because this is not a string, it is a command, end L, and what it means is end line, and it will simply cout an end line. Welcome to my world, and there you have that carriage return or end line that is entered, so that other line is on the next one. And that's how we use cout. We use it, the word cout, followed by the insertion operators, followed by whatever it is we want to output. And you can output many things, so I'm going to head and put one more line up here. Cout, hello, John and Mary. Welcome to my world. Let's run that. Oh, it said there were build errors. What did I forget? It says, do you want to continue and run the last successful build? No, I don't want to go back and try again. I want to go forward and figure out what error I have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to where it shows me the error. I double click on it, and it takes me to the line where it found the error. So it says we found the error right here. I'm going to pull that output window open again and look what the error is, and it says syntax error, missing semicolon. And sure enough, notice that it sent me to this line, but the semicolon it was missing was on the line before. I started my statement with Cout, but I forgot to put a semicolon, and so it produced an error. Let's go ahead and add that semicolon and try one more time. Okay, it ran this time. I didn't have a syntax error. Now it says, hello, John and Mary. Welcome to my world. Look how Mary and welcome are all bunched up together. That is because the program did exactly what I said, not what I was thinking. I was thinking it might be nice to have a space there or maybe a carriage return there, but I didn't put either one of those things, so the program didn't either. Notice that what my string, hello, John and Mary, was output, and then exactly after it, the next string was output, welcome to my world. If I want to have a space there, I have to actually put it. So I go inside the string and type a space, and now how will it look? And now I have hello, John and Mary, space, welcome to my world. That space worked just like these other spaces worked to separate words. It's just that sometimes we forget. When they're on different lines, we think that maybe something will be automatically entered, but it is not. So remember that you always have to put whatever you want to be output. And if I want a space, then I need to add it. Instead of a space, I might want to put a carriage return. We know how to do that. Cout, end L. And now if I run it, I get hello, John and Mary, carriage return, welcome to my world. So there's lots of things that you can do to connect those together. Now, I have used a single Cout statement for each item that I wanted to output. So there are 4 things I wanted to output, 2 strings and 2 end L, so I used 4 Cout statements. Each Cout statement begins with the command Cout and ends with a semicolon. It is possible to output more than one thing in a single Cout statement. So let's say that I wanted to output the string hello, John and Mary, and then an end L. I can do it all on the same line. What I need to do is I have to have an insertion operator for each item that I'm going to output. So I'm going to add another insertion operator followed by end L. And now I've really output 2 things. The Cout statement begins here and ends with a semicolon. Let's see how that works. It looks exactly the same. So the fact that I put those in on the same Cout statement makes no difference. Hello, John and Mary, carriage return. Welcome to my world, carriage return. I can continue to combine things. In fact, I can do as many different output things as I want to in the same Cout statement simply by using multiple insertion operators. So there I add the next string, and now I'm going to go ahead and add the end L. And now I have a single Cout statement. It begins here with the Cout statement, and it ends there with the semicolon, and it's all in one Cout statement. Let's run it. And we get the same thing. Hello, John and Mary, end L. Welcome to my world, end L. Just all in a single statement. Now, it becomes problematic when I make a Cout statement this long because then I have to scroll to see the whole line. So I can go ahead and say, well, I only want one Cout statement, but I want it to be on 2 lines. Notice when I do that, it automatically indents. And still the Cout statement begins with the command Cout and ends with the semicolon. Let's run it. And we get exactly the same output. Now let me show you one problem with doing this. You might say, okay, I've got this output statement. I run out of room right here before world. So how about if I just put my enter there? It still indents it, but notice the change in color. My string begins there and ends there, but this is no longer red in here, and I get these squiggly lines that indicate there's going to be an error. Let me run this. And it said there were build errors. Would you like to continue and run the last successful build? No, I want to figure out what's wrong with the current code, so I'm going to say no. And I look down here and I find out that I actually have 5 errors and 1 warning. As always, I'm going to go all the way to the top error. I'm going to double click, and it says I found an error on this line. I'm going to look at that output window. It says the error was that there was a new line in a constant. So a string is a constant, and we put I typed a new line in it right there. And that's what it's complaining about. So the error tells me where to go and it gives me some clue about what the problem is. So if I fix this problem by getting rid of that carriage return in that string, and I run it again, notice I only made a single change. But I run it again, and that single change got rid of all 5 errors and the warning. So always correct the top error and run it again to see if it can get rid of several of the errors in one shot. And here it's working again. So the syntax rule is you cannot put a carriage return inside a string. So don't type and enter inside a string. You can break it here. You can break it here. Lots of places you can break it, but you can't break it inside a string. So that's how Cout works. Whenever you want to write something from the program to the console window, you can use a Cout statement.